So yes, my boys, it is time. The NBA draft is finally here. And this, I have not been so excited for an episode for a while. I mean, like, I've been excited for several, episodes as they've come and gone this season. But this one in particular is so exciting because so many of you guys are going to get to see where your hashtag ad players end up. I mean, you guys are going to be in the series. Of course, like I always say, next year, 2026, there's going to be a whole new wave. So, definitely stay tuned for that as well. But here we are in 2025, and this is the one that we're looking forward to right now, man. And I cannot wait to get in it. I am so antsy to jump right into it. But real quick, I do want to show you guys, for those of you that are interested, I want to show you guys the draft combine real quick and the pre-draft workouts. I'm not going to go through all of it. All I'm going to do is I'm going to show on screen the top 10 for each category. That way you guys can pause if you'd like to see it. By all means, take a look at it, but I'm so excited to get into this thing. I'm just going to show it real quick. So here we go. There is the 3/4 sprint. There's your top 10 for that. I believe this is the top 10. Yeah, top 10. Then you've got your lane agility time. There is your top 10 in that category. Vertical leap. This is always an interesting one. As you can see, Ace Bailey and Aiden McCauley both tied for first in that department. That's really, really cool to see. Bench press. I don't even know who that guy is, so we'll just say top 9. There's a few guys in here that'll be in here, but they're so low ranked that I can't imagine that they're even going to get drafted, such as Zachary Perkins. I don't even know who that is. But either way, let's see. Standing 15-foot jumper. There is your top 10 for that. Moving 15-foot jumper. Top 10 for that. A lot of the same names. Then here we go. Standing college 3. Moving college 3-pointer. There's those guys. And then probably one of the more important ones, the standing NBA 3-pointer, NBA length 3-pointer. And there's your top 10 for that. And then the moving NBA 3. Did I do? Yeah, I did it. Yeah, there we go. There's your moving NBA 3-pointer. So it was really kind of the same guys for the standing and the moving, I believe. But there's your top 10 in those categories for the combine. And then the pre-draft workouts, I literally just took the top 12 guys off of the, the scouting, and I just brought them to the workouts and took a look at really I was just looking at the top 7. That was my main focus. As I've said before, I'm pretty sure that once this gets going, we are going to trade up. I'm going to try at least. I'm going to do my best, because I know with the first 4 picks, you got Utah with number 1, then the Rockets with 2 and 3, and then you've got the Jazz with number 4. So the top 4 picks belong to 2 teams. So I'm going to see if one of those 2 teams is willing to make a deal, for either like the 3rd or 4th pick or something like that, because getting number 1 or 2 is going to be almost impossible. In fact, it is going to be impossible considering the assets that we don't have, and considering the fact that, I have the trade slide or the difficulty bumped up. So here we are officially in the 2025 draft, and as you guys know, it is going to be Utah on the clock first. And they are on the clock. Let's see who they go with. I'm thinking that this is it's really the Cooper Flagg sweepstakes at this point, right? That's what I'm expecting to happen here, but let's see. And the Jazz take Cooper Flagg out of Duke. I don't think that there was any question that this is where he was going. I mean, it was inevitable, I think, on this. So now let's see the Houston Rockets. Let's see what the Rockets do. We have a trade to announce. Okay. Let's see what it is. Oh my God, the Rockets pick up Zach LaVine and a 29 first-round unprotected via the Lakers, and they give up the 2nd overall pick to the Bulls. We knew this was coming. We knew that the Zach LaVine era was coming to an end in Chicago. Maybe it just dragged on a little bit. Drug on? I don't know. Here we go. Now the Bulls have the 2nd overall pick. Let's see who they go with. They take Donovan Bailey, the big man. That is their guy. They trade up to get their guy, and oh man, that hurts a little bit. I was honestly expecting to get Donovan Bailey. I wanted one of the Bailey boys. I wanted either Donovan or Ace. One of those two guys I wanted in a bad way. And now I'm starting to think with Ace being on the board, because I thought Donovan might drop to 4. Now I'm wondering what the Rockets do here at number 3. They've got Levine. What do the Rockets do at 3? And can we get 4 from the Utah Jazz? Donovan Bailey, 2nd overall. Man, I was hoping he would drop to us, but he didn't. Now it's the Rockets on the clock again for the 2nd time now. Let's see. Are they going to actually make a pick this time? They do, and they take Dylan Harper. Dylan Harper, the point guard. And now, okay, wow, what a great pick too, because Dylan Harper is one of them guys who I think could really, he could tie everything together. I know they have Van Vliet, but this could be the guy, you know, as far as the future is concerned, that pulls everything together for Houston. Now I got to pause the draft because I have to see what it's going to take to get that 4th overall pick from the Jazz. And if I can't get that, maybe the 5th from the Nets. But let's just see. Let's see what we can do. All right, so considering the fact that the trade slider is bumped up, I figured that they were going to be asking for something, you know, a little bit more than what we might have wanted to give up. Let's see if we can possibly get this done. Caleb Martin and the 7th overall pick for the 4th overall pick. And Caleb Martin, he's currently irritated with the way things are going right now. He doesn't even like being in Louisville. Yeah, I'm irritated with the way things are going right now. So, yeah, I just, man. Let's pull the trigger. Let's see if they agree to it. And they agree to the trade offer. Oh, okay. They move back a few spots and they get Caleb Martin, which will help their team for sure. We are now on the clock, boys. And I think it's pretty clear who we go with here. I told you I wanted one of the Bailey boys. And there you have it. Donovan is already gone. Let's go based off of overall for what we have scouted, just to look. Yeah, I think I want to go with Ace. I don't think there's any reason. I had my mind set on one of the Bailey boys. I had my mind set on that. You know what? Ace Bailey, welcome to Louisville, baby. Let's do it. Let's do this thing. Ace Bailey is coming to the Louisville Badgers out of Rutgers. He was one and done, you know, in his time in college. And let's see what they have to say about him. If only for his showing at the draft combine. Ace Bailey is a great selection here with the best in-class vertical of 44 inches. This man is 100% a high flyer. He is, he's going to be, you know, we're putting the league on notice right now with this young talent that we have on this team. And now also we've got the 8th pick in the 2nd round and the 11th pick in the 2nd round. And we may be able to package that to possibly move up into the late 1st. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, maybe late 1st or earlier in the 2nd. And there it is with the 5th pick in the draft. My boy Prosper Hale goes 5th overall to the Brooklyn Nets. Looks like they've got their point guard of the future. Great pickup. Let's see here. The Bulls. And they take Ty O'Dwyer, the 6'8" forward out of Australia. A great wing. You guys saw him in the hype video. Sean Davini says, I'm a big fan of O'Dwyer's game despite not coming up through the high school AAU college ranks. I really feel like his game is going to adapt seamlessly to the NBA's lightning fast pace. This guy actually played professionally in Australia. He kind of did, he was very similar. It was similar to what LaMelo did when he played for the Breakers. He, you know, this Ty O'Dwyer did the same type of thing. And Utah goes with Eric Garcia with the 7th pick out of Oklahoma, the 6'5" shooting guard. This guy was ranked very, very high in some of the mocks. Slipped just a little bit, but not too much. And, you know, great pickup for the Utah Jazz, man. They've now got Cooper Flagg and Eric Garcia on the team. Let's see who the Spurs go with. They are now on the clock. They're going with Keldrick Turner. This is a guy who I had my eye on for a while. Keldrick Turner out of BYU. And you know what? Welcome to San Antonio. And I think Greg Popovich would be a great guy to you know, to mentor this man and build him up into, you know, maybe that two guard of the future. Turner had the fastest three-quarter court sprint time of any two guard at the combine. That's awesome. Now we've got the Raptors with back-to-back picks at 9 and 10. Let's see if they keep them both, and they're on the clock. They take Dre Forbes. Dre Forbes at 9th overall in the 2025 draft out of Cincinnati, the 6'11" big man. This guy has a ton of talent, just an absolute ton of talent. You know what? He was originally out of Cincinnati and then ended up playing with the G League Ignite, but obviously I couldn't put G League Ignite, you know, in the game. So, you know, but that's his story. This guy is a beast, though. And they take the point guard out of Duke, Miles Molly Warren, the Birdman Jr. here. And no, I don't mean Lil Wayne. This man's got tattoos everywhere, just like Birdman, but he's a point guard. He is a 6'5" point guard, another guy who I think is going to fit seamlessly in Toronto. Anyway, we got the Spurs up again at number 11. Will they keep the pick? And they do. And they take Killian King, one of the two King twins, going to the San Antonio Spurs. Kobe and Killian King, two highly touted prospects in this draft. Both, you know, twins, much like Keegan Murray and Chris Murray, but Killian goes first. Now you got Memphis. The Grizzlies are on the clock now at 12. They take Jerry Jeffries, the big man out of UCLA. So whenever he attacks an opposing defender, his moves have the confidence of someone who has practiced the same move 1,000 times. Highly polished and very, very worthy of the first-round selection. That is awesome for Jerry Jeffries. And the Knicks pick up Jacob Towns Jr. out of Georgetown. And I honestly think that this is a pick, considering the fact that they don't really know what's going to happen with Jalen Brunson, because I think that he is on a, you know, I think he's got an option coming up or something like that, and Towns can play the 2 or the 3, but they pick up Jacob Towns Jr. out of Georgetown, so big pickup for them. And we've got the Supersonics up next. Obvious steal here by drafting a player, and Jacob I had coming off the board 10 picks ago, says Lang Whitaker. So a steal in the draft for the Knicks. Let's see who it is that the Seattle Supersonics are going to take at 14 overall. They take Connor Ashford, 6'4" point guard. Anyway, congrats to Connor Ashford. Now we got the Heat on the clock. They take Isaiah Priest, the wing out of Missouri, with the 15th pick in the draft. Priest looks to be a solid pick. With Jimmy Butler entering free agency this summer with no guarantees that he'll return, we don't know what's going to happen with Butler, to be honest with you. So, you know, we'll have to see. But Isaiah Priest, he's their guy for the future, it looks like. Nets are up next. Let's see what they do at number 16. They take Jax Thornton, point guard, another point guard, with the 16th pick. They take him out of James Madison, the 6'8" point. This guy right here, let me just tell you, if he had dropped a little further, I would have picked him up. When you got a big-bodied playmaker like Jax Thornton, a lengthy playmaker like that, that's the type of guy that you want on your team to see just in the off chance that you can catch lightning in a bottle. Up next, we got the Pelicans. They're taking the big man Tyus Kane out of Kentucky, 6'11" center. Let's see. Showed at the draft combine that he has the best mid-range shot of any center in the draft. This guy is a mid-range machine for sure. Now we got the Magic on the clock at number 18. And they're going with the other King brother, the other twin, Kobe King. 6'8" out of Duke. That's a great pickup for the Orlando Magic. Now we got the Celtics, big contender, on the clock at 19. And they take Aiden McCauley. Aiden McCauley, our boy McCauley, going to be coming off the bench behind Tatum with the 19th pick in the draft. My boy, you are going to an immediate contender. They had a little bit of an off year last season with injuries and things like that. But you know what? I think they're going to be right back in the thick of things this year. And the Oklahoma City Thunder get Angelo Alex out of Greece with the 21st pick in the 2025 draft. very surprising that he didn't go higher than this but it was a little polarizing, to be honest, because some drafts, some of the mocks had him high up, some of them had him a little lower, so it was hard to really tell with him. And now we've got the Lakers up next. I don't think any of you guys have told me that you want to be in Los Angeles, and a few of you guys have said that you would demand a trade if you got drafted by the Lakers. But let's see who they get. Let's see. They go with Paul Ham, our boy out of Texas. Paul Ham with the 22nd pick, small forward out of Texas, goes to the Lakers. And the Knicks grab Dom Gomez from the Philippines with the 23rd pick in the 2025 draft. Great pickup for them because I'm not sure what's going on with, like I said, with Brunson or Quentin Grimes for that matter. So I'll have to see how it all plays out. But the Knicks go with Dom Gomez out of the Philippines. We got the Trailblazers up next. See who they go with. They take Stacey Dart, power forward out of Florida State. Great pickup there. Showed his rebounding prowess by pulling down 11.5 rebounds per game last season at Florida State. That was the best in the nation. So our boy Stacey Dart was best in the nation in rebounds last season in college. Awesome, awesome pickup for Rip City. Let's see what the Warriors do at number 25. Is this going to be a trade? No, it's not. They're going to go with Braden Patrick out of Croatia. Braden Patrick at number 25. 6'8" guard. This is another guy who has a lot of upside. Next up, we've got the Indiana Pacers on the clock. Let's see where they go. They are going to take Alex Lyons out of California with the 26th pick. Wing, 6'10", out, as I said, out of California. Led all players at the Combine. Was shooting the college three. Made 38 out of 50. Let's see what the Clippers do. They're now on the clock at 27. They're going to take our boy Zay Best, power forward out of LSU. I think this is a great pick for them, especially when you think about team need. On to the Pelicans at number 28. Let's see. They take Sebastian Wynn, big man out of Belgium, with the 28th pick. So that is a great pickup for the New Orleans Pelicans. Some of the mocks had this guy going in the second round, but can't imagine why, because this guy has a lot of talent, big-time skill. And you know what? I cannot wait to see how him, Nick Baker, Zion Williamson, Tyrese Proctor, Justin Edwards. I mean, that team is going to be good. They still got CJ McCollum. Let's go on to number 29 with the OKC Thunder. So OKC ends up going with Jet Simpson out of North Carolina. This is a big guy. Actually plays the 3 and the 4. Very, very solid player, at number 29 here. And now we're getting into the part of the draft where we might want to look at, we've got second round picks and, 2 of them at 8 and 11 overall in the second round. And we might want to try to trade up here at some point. Let's just see. The Jazz are up. I don't want to make another trade. Well. Wait a second. So the Knicks have the first pick in the second round here. We actually have the 8th and the 11th pick. I want to see if we can use the 8th and 11th pick to trade up to the first pick in the second round. I don't know if it'll work, but we'll at least try it. And, with the slider bumped up, it might not. But we're going to give it a shot, see what happens. And they actually agreed to that. Okay. All right. There we go. So we've got the first pick in the second round, meaning that we are up very, very soon here. We just got to wait for the Jazz, who are on the clock, the Mavericks, the Magic, and then it's us. So the Utah Jazz pick up St. Gonzalez with the 30th pick in the first round out of USC. So their first round pick is going to be a guard. And you know what? I do believe that Jordan Clarkson is the only guard that they have, the only shooting guard that they have under contract right now. So Saint will absolutely be getting, some playing time. The Dallas Mavericks end up going with Dom Ellis, the shooting guard out of Duke, with the 31st pick. This is one of the guys that I actually had my eye on, when I was thinking about who I might want to draft with that first pick in the second round. But the Mavericks beat me to it. But there is another guy that I have in mind. The Magic are up next. Let's see. They're on the clock. And they go with Kasparas Balsavicius out of Lithuania Point guard out of Lithuania. You know what? You know how Orlando loves their guards. I mean, come on now. Trust the process type of moments. There you go. That marks the end of the first round, actually. So we are moving on to the second round now with Deputy Commissioner Mark Tatum. All right, here we go. Let's see who is still on the board. There is a guy, though, that I have my eye on here. And, there's two guys. Actually, there's quite a few. I'm not going to lie. Oh, man. All right, so all things considered, I think I want to take the guy out of North Carolina who I believe, to be honest with you, could be, a hell of a player. I don't know why he fell so far in this draft, but we are going to go with Devin Lessan out of North Carolina because Judah Mintz is not very happy in Louisville right now. Hopefully, Devin Lessan will be a lot happier with us. Welcome to the team, my boy. You are now a Louisville Badger. Devin Lessan, our pick in the second round. Now we will go ahead and fly through this second round, and I will stop whenever there's a hashtag add player drafted. However, the vast majority of you guys have been drafted at this point, but let's see what they have to say about him. We knew Lessan was one of the best three-point shooters in the nation last year. Look at that. I didn't even have him all the way scouted, so I didn't even know. But Badger Scouts got a close look at him at the Combine where he made more college threes than any other point guard. You know what? He is a perfect fit on this team. A perfect fit on this team. Let's go Badgers, baby. Spurs next. Calvin McLeod. That is another one of our hashtag add players. Congratulations, Calvin McLeod. Next, we got Arif Romero going to the Detroit Pistons. Awesome pickup for them. That is another one of our players. Then we've got the Timberwolves up. Paolo Satters, a guy who I thought would be drafted a lot higher. He was ranked a lot higher. Paolo Satters ends up going to the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Hornets up next. They take our boy Jude Hudson out of Canada. Another one of our hashtag add players. Great, great player. Next up, we've got the Warriors. They take our boy Chris Cecil. Another guy out of North Carolina. Next up, we got the New York Knicks, and they pick up Faraji Council out of Michigan State with the 40th overall pick. Next up, OKC. They go with Brian Blackburn, 7'1" big man out of Indiana. He's going with the 42nd overall pick in the draft. Sixers up next. They take Rodrigo Flores out of Peru. That is one of our players. Point guard out of Peru, 6'1". Sky Newman, he is the next hashtag add player off the board. Going to the Magic. He is a wing player and a great guy to pick up in the second round. Like I said, I mean, this guy, he can really he may be the surprise pick of the second round, if I'm being honest. Next hashtag add player off the board is OJ Blue. He ends up going to the Houston Rockets. So there you go. Congrats to OJ Blue going into Houston. Rafael Rodriguez, another shorter guard out of Costa Rica. He goes to the Cleveland Cavaliers with the very next pick. And yeah, that was actually it for our hashtag add players, if I'm not mistaken. So we only got a couple of teams left, and I'll show you guys that, in the summary. So that is it for the 2025 NBA Draft, my boys. I hope you guys are excited seeing all of you guys' players, going. So many of you guys in the first round, man. It was awesome. But as you can see, this is how everything played out, in the draft. Here you go. So you've got Cooper Flagg, Donovan Bailey, Dylan Harper, Ace Bailey coming to the Badgers, Prosper Hale to the Nets. I'll go through this so you guys can see all of your players once more. But, hopefully you guys were excited seeing them being drafted live right here, in this episode. I think it was awesome. So many of the backstories and everything, man, it was all just awesome. You got the twins. There was one guy who actually, his brother had passed away, and, he was playing, with that, just that energy and that, that drive behind him because of the fact that his brother passed away. I don't remember exactly who it was now. If I see the name, I'll probably remember it. I don't remember right off the top of my head, though. But, I mean, just some of these backstories that you guys came up with, absolutely awesome. And I read all of them, front to back. Let's look at the second round. We ended up getting Devin Lessan in the second round. And then here is everybody else from the second round. Again, a lot of you guys' hashtag add players are here early on at the very least. And then, later on, we've got some players that are real players in real life, but I just, I'm not familiar with too many of them. There may be some, some guys in here that are mixed in that aren't real. But anyway, that was the NBA draft for 2025, man. And like I said, I hope it was as exciting for you guys as it was for me, because this was the one that I was really, really waiting for, and I think you guys were too. I can't wait for 2026. It's going to be just as exciting, and I'm hoping that I get all of you guys in the first round for 2026. I might only make around 30 or so players for 2026 for that exact reason. So before we move on to part 3, where we will end the offseason and jump into the 2025-2026 season, I want to at least take a look at free agency real fast so you guys can see some of the names that are on the list, and you guys can tell me, comment on this episode, and let me know what we should do in free agency after what you saw in the draft. We got both of our guys. I signed Ace Bailey, and I signed Devin Lasan. So we got both of those guys. Let's take a quick look real quick at team player options. So first off, we are going to accept, I like the way they have this right here, because Judah Mintz doesn't want to be here anymore. He doesn't like the fact that we sent him to the G League, and I understand that. And I think that maybe he should get an opportunity elsewhere because he's got skills. Filipowski, Laravia, and Grady Dick, we're definitely going to accept all 3 of those. Qualifying offers, Greg Brown. Let's see. Yeah, I like the way they have this as well, because I would like to keep Greg Brown, on the team. We had him on a 2-way contract, and I definitely want Josh Christopher, especially for that money. But I'm quite sure he might be, based on the way he's been playing, he might get an offer, so we'll have to see. But let's go ahead and go straight into the moratorium period so you guys can see who is available. So taking a look over this list, I mean, I think we know that most of these guys are going to be re-signed by their, by their team. I'm quite sure the Celtics are, going all out. Yeah, they're offering him a max contract. I can't imagine Tatum going anywhere. Jimmy, I'm not sure. But LeBron, he'll quite likely he'll stay in LA. Donovan Mitchell, who knows what'll happen here, but I wanted to give you guys a look at, the free agent market and, who's unrestricted, who's not, and, give you guys a chance to let me know what you guys, what direction we should go here. Capella is unrestricted. I know that a few of you guys were mentioning Clint Capella, and let's see, he's expecting, pretty hefty contract. He's 31 years old, $27.78 million. You know what? Okongwu might actually be a better fit, if I'm being honest, but again, this is up to you guys. You guys are my assistant GMs. I need you guys' input on this. Love James Wiseman. Don't think we'll be able to get him as much as I wish we could. A lot of these guys are restricted. Let's just see here. Like I said, I just want to give you guys a look through if you guys want to pause it and let me know what you think. Abdia, another great option. Josh Christopher, yeah, we've offered to him. He's got an offer, but I think it's got to be us, right? Yeah, it's a qualifying offer. Okay. Let's see. Bol. You know what, man? I'm telling you right now, unless you guys say no, I am going to offer Bol. He is going to be, because we don't have Day'Ron Sharp anymore. Day'Ron Sharp, his contract is up at this point. And so he's a free agent. Bol is the guy that I want coming off the bench behind Claxton. Even if we do trade Claxton, I want Bol as the guy coming off the bench, unless you think that we should re-sign Sharp, which I don't see any reason to, considering we don't have bird rights on him. So I don't see any reason. Steven Adams is here, and a few of you guys were mentioning him as well. But anyway, I'll go down the list here so that you guys, like I said, you guys can pause and let me know what direction we should go in the free agent market here. I want to do something in free agency that really ties this team together. And I hope you guys are looking through this with that in mind. Let me know what player here, that we could pick up that you think would just tie everything together and, kind of catapult us, into that point where we're actually at least in the conversation for a playoff spot, Anyway, my boys, I will leave it here for now so that you guys can go ahead and make your decision. The decisions here are ultimately up to you guys because you guys are the ones that matter. Nothing else in the world is more important than you guys' opinion, so give it to me in the comments below on this episode so that I know what to do in part 3. Should we trade Claxton? Should we keep him around? I know he hasn't been very happy on the team this season. Now it's time to start moving forward, signing some free agents, and seeing which of these guys really develop into that dude. You know, who on this team is him? All of that, along with the player progression and the advancement into the 2025 season, is coming up in part 3. Thank you guys so much for being here again for another episode, and I hope you guys loved it. Congrats to all you guys that had #add players drafted, and I will catch you guys in the next one.